Alright, so I'm going to show you how to build a pie tossing booth where you stick your face in it and they throw pies in your face like that. So you're going to need a piece of plywood. It's about 6 feet tall, ½ inch thick. ½ inch because it has rigidity. If you go less than ½ inches it might be too flimsy, you have to brace it. I've got about 5 2x4s, 8 feet in length. I don't think we're going to need that many, but I got them just because. You're going to need a jigsaw. You're going to need a circular saw. And you're going to need a drill. Now, cordless drill will work. My cordless drill only has 1 battery, so we're going to use a corded drill. I've got a bunch of screws, 2½ inch, and a bunch of hinges. The order I got was to make a booth that was something we could store afterwards, and it was permanent, so that's what we got. Alright, so this design's going to call for 2 people. 1 person here, 1 person here. We're going to have to cut holes in the wood. One's going to be higher for taller people, one's going to be lower for shorter people like my wife. We're going to use this as a stencil.
What are you doing? Nothing.
Okay, so we measured the wood, and we determined that to get to my chin, Ethan threw stuff in the street.
Okay.
It was like 4 feet and 9 inches to put my face in the hole. And for my wife, we did 4 feet and 4 inches for the smaller people, like this. So then what I did here is I actually measured that. So the taller one is 4 foot 9 inches, the shorter one is 4 feet 2 inches. So then what I did is we're doing two here. So we measured, this is a 4 foot piece of wood, so we 2 feet in the middle, then 1 foot, 1 foot. Now I've got the bottom marking here, the bottom marking there. So we got that measured out. And I got this bucket that I'm going to use. I figured that would be my face. Your face would go in there like this. And we got these out of the trash, so I don't even know what was in them before. So they go like this. And I'm going to use that to outline the face right there. This bucket stinks. So, first thing's going to go right here. I'm just going to outline it. Outline, outline, outline. Oh. That's not oval. We did Maybe that's not going to work. So a little bit bigger than this. Okay, so the first attempt was too round. So we're going to put a piece of tape to make it more oval. And we're going to outline it.
My face is round.
Attempt number 2. Now if you're Asian, your face is perfectly round. So here we go. Alright, there we go. Oval. And I'll probably cut about a ½ inch out when I use my saw, because my wife just asked me to make it a little bit bigger. And we'll do the same on the other side.
Bring it in a little bit.
You want it to be closer together?
Yeah. Okay. So like,
You're literally going to be standing on top of each other.
And then one, that's all, they'll be...
That's too close.
I might not do 2 at a time either.
Well, I'm just going to do them a little bit offset.
Okay.
Alright, so we're putting them closer to the middle. Okay. So that's face number 1. That's face number 2. And like I said, we're going to cut it about a ½ inch outside of this, because my bucket wasn't big enough. Same thing here, ½ inch. Because I got a big giant head. So now we're ready to make our cuts. Alright, so we're going to cut with a jigsaw. We have to first make a hole in the wood, and we need to use this bit right here. And it's not going to be a perfect science, because we're just going to kind of line it up here with the edge. And we're just going to go and make a hole here. There's one there. So we're going to wear protective eyeglasses. And I got to be careful because my wife will attack me when I put these on. It looks super hot. Alright, so we're going to cut. I'm going to take out this bottle. They're in my way. Alright, here we go. I missed the hole by a lot. That's not the right shape. That's like odd shape. Is my face fit in there?
Go on from the bottom.
How's that?
have to go in from the bottom.
Alright, so we're good. Yes, but watch you get splinters in your face, dude. Why? Because that's raw wood still. Alright, so we got the first hole cut out for the big people like me. Ow, splinter! Ow! And we have the little hole cut out for the little bitty people.
Splinter and the Ninja Turtles.
What about that?
Is my hair through?
Yes.
So we gotta smooth these out stuff because they got chingle splinters in them.
Yeah.
And we're gonna build a frame so that it'll stand up by itself. We're going to be cutting at a 15-degree angle since this is going to be a board that's going to go at an angle to support the top. So we're going to cut it 15 degrees here. Okay, so for the back brace I got one piece of board. This is going to be the upright, 36 inches. That's going to be up against the back of the brace there. Got another one that's going to be cut at 20.5 inches. This is just a straight cut. And this one's going to be at an angle, cut at 37.5 inches. I got a 15-degree angle here and a 15-degree angle here. And these are going to be cut, so when it angles like this, it'll be angled here and it'll be straight there. Alright, so our cuts are now done. We got 37.5 inches at the 15-degree angle. And the angles are going the same way. So the angle is going this way here and it's going this way down here as well. We got 36 inches, we got 20.5 inches, this is the bottom, and 10.25 with the angle here. The 10.25 side is right here, and this is the other end with the angle there. Now we're ready to assemble. I've got some wood screws. These are 1.5 inch screws. We're going to start with the 36 inch piece, this is the back. And we're going to take the 20.5 inch piece, this is the bottom. And we're going to join those together at a right angle. And the bottom just like this. My drill has a sleeve so that the screw doesn't walk on me. So I'm going to get that in there, pull the sleeve out, and then we'll put 2 screws in the bottom here. So that's what we end up with. L shape like this, screws in the bottom. Now we're going to put the angled piece in. Okay, so this is how you're going to put the angled piece on. You see that 15-degree angle is going to make the board angle this way. We're going to put 2 screws in the bottom. Because these are angled, we're going to go in a little bit of an angle as well. So put the screw in, pull out the sleeve, we're going to go in kind of like this. Now actually, I screw that up. We'll do that again. That's what it looks like. So here's the back brace. We got the 10.25 inch piece. Remember, I cut it at an angle. It's going to sit up here. It's going to follow the same angle as this board. And we're just going to attach it on top like that. First screw. Don't forget to use your sleeve or you all die. Try that again. There we go. Okay, so before we bolt things down, I want to kind of show you what we got going on here. So this is the first one that we built, and this is going to go on the back of the brace. This is going to hold the booth up. And we're going to do another one over here. So you can see that the booth will kind of sit at an angle. Now the reason I cut these at 20.5 inches specifically is these are going to be on hinges, and they're going to lay down like this. When we're not using it, the other one's going to lay down like this. And that 20.5 inches is just enough clearance so that these don't hit. Okay, so to place the hinges, we're going to do this. We're going to take our brace, and we're going to line it up with the edge on the back, on the side of the board over here. We're going to take a marker, and we're going to outline the inside edge, like so. Okay? Then we're going to lay this guy down. Okay, so here's the hinges that I got. I got 4 of these. These are door hinges. They're pretty heavy duty. They come with the screws already. Yours may vary, but you want to get something that's pretty heavy duty because we want this thing to last. And if it doesn't last, I'll conceal these hinges and use them later for something else. We're going to line up our hinge. So we're going to take our first, we'll put the first screw in. And this line is to line up your hinge. You want to make sure the hinge is lined up with that line. And then we'll bolt the hinge on this side. And just to kind of show you, this is the way the mechanism is going to work. When it's standing up and when it's sitting down. Start with the hinge on the platform here. Line it up with this line that we traced out. And there we go. So here's the hinge action. That's when it's going to be stood up, and then we're going to lay it down when it's not being used. Now I'm actually going to put a locking mechanism in here to keep them together when we move this thing around. So both the hinges are done. So if you extend the hinge here, extend the hinge here, we can stand it up, and then when we're not using it, just lay it back down again. So I'm going to extend the hinges and show you what it looks like. Alright, so now that the basic assembly is done, we can go ahead and start doing the finishing. And when I say finishing, I mean we're going to have to sand the edges for these openings here. If not, you're going to get splinters in your face. So we'll sand the edges on these. And I'm also going to sand the edges on the outside edges here, because we'll have to carry this thing around. So the sander I'm using is this little guy right here. I've got 120 on here. I would actually recommend using a 300. I'm sorry, yeah, 300 if you got it. It's a little bit better. But this is all I got in the shop right now, so this is what we'll be using. And I'm just going to do the edges here and the inside, because you're going to be sticking your face in there. Alright, so now it's all sanded, so we don't got to worry about getting any splinters. The last step is to apply some paint, and that's up to you. However you want to paint it. You want to paint a big sign on it, or just paint a solid color, or paint some bullseyes. That's all on your creativity. But that is how we are going to build this guy.
You will want to use exterior latex house paint. Make sure that the paint is high gloss. This means you can simply hose down the pie toss after you're finished with it. And whatever design you go with, it's all up to you and your creativity. And be sure to invest in some safety goggles. And like I said before, because you're using latex paint, you will simply hose off the pie toss after you're done using it.